Emerita Resources gives investors an opportunity to potentially be part of one of the world's largest, richest zinc deposits for free, at a time when the long-term prospects for zinc hold plenty of promise. Get all the details in our new report. Meanwhile, we talked to longtime mine builder David Patterson to find out more.
Well, for one thing in Emerita is that we've got two what I consider world-class zinc projects. And as of a month ago, we didn't have these. We've been working towards getting these zinc projects, one in Brazil and the other one in Spain. Both of them are well understood areas. If you looked at a monopoly set, these would be Park Place and Boardwalk in the zinc world. And we think with very little drilling, we can get these to a 4301 compliant resource. And with very little capital, we can be putting these into production if everything works towards a resource.
Zinc prices trending up for the long term puts zinc suppliers in a strong position. You can see the market numbers in our report. Patterson has long been a keen observer of the zinc market, and here's what he has to say about zinc prospects today.
So zinc has had a multi-year high just reached of the last couple of days at $1.50. We've seen zinc within the last 2 years go from 60 cents to $1.50. Well, one of the things about that is it's rising on inventories dropping, the historical low inventories right now at about, I think less than 3 weeks. And we're looking at a historically low exploration for zinc. This gives us a great opportunity, not that we have to go explore for zinc, because the projects that we're looking at have already made those zinc discoveries. We need to take those zinc discoveries, get them into a 43101 standard, and be able to bring them to the next stage.
Very few junior exploration and development companies pack the kind of people punch of an Emerita. The depth of experience, top shelf.
So for us in zinc experience, I'll just talk about Dave Gower for a second. Dave Gower, he's been in the business for 30 years. He was responsible for the discovery at Perseverance and Metogamy. He has made other discoveries, Palace Green in Ireland, in Lady Loretta in Australia. And so all of these have gone on to become mines. And he's seen them through the discovery all the way through to production. For myself, on the capital markets side, I was involved with the discovery of Bracemac in the McLeod camp, and we took that from discovery, funded it all the way through feasibility to production. So we've got, just on between David and I, we have a lot of experience both in discovery and in funding these deposits to production.
We asked Patterson to explain which of Emerita's current zinc prospects holds the greatest potential. Here's what he had to say.
So, that's a tough one to answer, because both of these projects were zinc discoveries made by other people that during low zinc prices were unable to advance the project. In the case of Plaza Norte in Spain, the zinc projects that we acquired, they were in production to 2003. Low zinc prices, and I believe it was multi-decade lows in 2003 for zinc. And they shut down an operating mine. Now we've picked up, through the bid process in Spain, we've picked up a number of claims in that area with over 300 drill holes. This gives us a pretty good leg up on where the ore is, what the grades are, and what the rock quality is all about. And all of this is from surface to maybe 350 meters deep. So pretty exciting in Spain. And then we go to Brazil. And in Brazil, you can drive to this property, you can go year round. So it's not like where we see things in the Arctic where you get maybe 3-4 months of work. We can work year round. The zinc was discovered by Vale. They spent about $7 million drilling it off. Zinc prices dropped to about 60 cents when we first heard about this project and started negotiating it. Now, Vale's a big company, trying to get them to come to the table early. We managed to make a deal with them where zinc prices are now $1.50.
We asked Patterson to look forward to program plans over the coming months, when the company will be active in both Spain and Brazil.
So for exploration dollars, it's probably divided equally between Brazil and into Spain. So with the amount of data we have on both projects and the amount of work we've done prior to acquiring the bid and making the deal with Vale, we were putting in our minds where we wanted to drill. So one of the things let's go to Brazil. One of the things we want to do about Brazil is we want to confirm that the holes that Vale has drilled are there in the right direction, getting the right, and then we want to step along strike and down dip. Now, they've already got a non-43-101 compliant resource of about 8.3 million tons of good grade zinc and lead. We want to try and increase that. And we think there's an opportunity here to double that. Now, I know from my experience of funding a mine into production that something at surface to about 350 meters deep is a lot less capital required and a lot less time required to put something that into production than when you're looking at something that's half a kilometer deep that you have to put all your capital in up front before you ever start producing any zinc. And that's what I love about both these projects. In Spain, it's at surface. We have 300 plus drill holes that we get to build our database from. In Brazil, we have 30, 40 drill holes, but we have a pretty good idea of how we can expand that. So in very short order, we think we can have 2 drill programs underway with lots of information coming out. Some of it's going to be twinning holes that exist to date, and most of it's going to be trying to expand a resource so that we can start working on the PEAs.
And then there's the massive 80 million ton plus former producing mine in Spain, ownership of which remains in the hands of the Spanish courts. The fascinating details of that case can be found in our report. But let's listen to what Patterson has to say.
Ansa is my Moby Dick.
Right.
Ansa makes the hair on the back of my hand stand up. That deposit was put in production, and it was an open pit. And it was in production for, I'm going to say, 2 years before they had the collapse of the dam. The government held on to that property for 20 years. They did, I think it's something like $2 billion for environmental cleanup before they put the property up for bid. I went and stood on the rim of the pit and with David Gower and we looked down and we could see where they were mining the zinc. And this mine did not stop for any other reason than they ran afoul of their environmental regulations. So when we put our bid in on Ansa, we were the very thing that we were the most focused on was how to protect the environment, how to protect the workers, and how to ensure safety.
Emerita, with 95 million shares outstanding and a market capitalization under $12 million, appears to be fully valued based principally on its existing properties. In other words, the market is discounting the potential of the massive Spanish zinc project to zero. Investors can take comfort in the long-term track record of people behind Emerita who know what it takes and how to bring large mines into production. Obviously, the potential here is that EMO will end up with a huge zinc property. And if they do, there is a certain probability that the market will revalue EMO shares accordingly. We think Emerita makes for very interesting speculation. The time and effort spent on due diligence could well turn out to be highly rewarding. For Northern Equity, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.